So this session is an orientation session involving the library. So the goal was to, or is to, get you acquainted with the library website and how to find resources through our website. And another goal was hopefully to have fun while doing so. My name is Chris Tomasini. I'm actually the librarian at the Aurelia campus. There's 8 or 9 librarians at the Thunder Bay campus, but I'm the one here in Aurelia. So the library loves meeting students. We're really happy when September begins and we have a wave of new students arrive. We love it when you folks ask us questions. For orientation, we're usually involved in scavenger hunts and giveaways, and we do things during orientation week, trying to get students to get used to us and get used to our sites and to come visit us. This year, there's some importance in you being confident enough to reach out to us. I'm going to give you a few ways to contact library staff, and I really encourage you to reach out, contact us, ask us questions, and let us help you out as you go through this school year. So the session was, what did I call it? Something Wolfie, exploring the library with Wolfie. Now, if you haven't actually been on campus, and that's probably likely, you may or may not really understand Lakehead's connection to wolves and why our mascot is Wolfie. So the sports team is the Thunderwolves, the basketball, hockey teams, etc., soccer teams. So it's the Lakehead Thunderwolves, and the mascot is Wolfie. So that's our logo, and that's Wolfie skating. That's the hockey jerseys. That's what the sports jerseys look like, the Lakehead Thunderwolves jerseys. And this is Wolfie, and it looks like he's at the airport here greeting maybe international students coming to arrive to travel to either the Aurelia campus or the Thunder Bay campus. Okay, and I have a couple little fun questions. Either on your device beside you, or if you can get a browser open, kind of along with the Zoom screen. Can you go to menti.com, MENTI.com? And then on the next screen, there's going to be a code you're going to need to type in once you're there. But for the moment, if you can go to menti.com, that'd be great. Okay. So the code is a little bit out of sight on the screen here. It's if you can type in, so menti.com, and the code is 5823815. 5823815. And this first question is just word association with the word wolf. Anything that you associate with the word wolf. I think you can type in up to 3 answers. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So that's some wild wolves, bone dog. Okay. Now on the next screen, okay, sorry, this question. So you should now be able to answer this question as well. Two, cool. Three. Those of you who have heard it, if you want to either use the chat or turn your mics on, or can you Do I need to turn your mics on? Let's see here. Where did you hear wolves howl? Like in your home area, or did you make a special trip somewhere to go do that? Grandfather's Sydney. Where is, like, Ontario, or where at your grandmother's camp? South of the border, Minnesota. So, Kat, are you there's another person in Manitoba. Kat, are you actually in Manitoba? Like, or, oh, actually, no, you could be up there. Yeah, okay. So, okay. Sorry, Kat, I forgot that Thunder Bay is really close to Minnesota, so you're probably in the Thunder Bay area, I guess. So, yeah, so down here, it's Algonquin Park that people would usually go to. You can go, there's wolf howls sometimes that the park staff run at Algonquin Park. Although we heard wolves, we were camping this summer kind of in the, not too far from the Kingston area, and we heard wolves howling over that way. Okay. Okay, I was gonna just go through this a little bit as a way to talk about research topics. So I'm gonna show you a couple subject areas, and I want us to brainstorm, and again, you can either unmute or use the chat function. So for these following subject areas that I'm gonna show you, what are some topics of research a person might do in these areas? So biology. And I might have to, I'm having problems seeing the chat when I'm in share mode, so I might have to stop sharing actually. Or can I, it's easier if I minimize? Yeah, sorry. So let's go do this manually. So biology, can you think of any things you would study related to wolves in the area of biology? So I can see the chat again if you want to chat it. How many pups? Yeah. Yeah, good, Sydney, thank you. Yeah. Would they eat where they hunt? Yeah. Their diet, yeah. One that came to mind for me was down here in the south, as coyotes move north, and that's more and more common now. And you see coyotes in like Toronto and places. There's crossbreeding happening. So I thought that might be an interesting question. Not the pros and cons, but the consequences and of crossbreeding with coyotes. How about English Lit? Can anybody think of any wolf topics you might study in English Lit? So the werewolves. So the actually, what subject areas are you folks in? Just out of curiosity, are you guys all science or trying to be science majors, or what fields are you guys in? Psych, life sciences, engineering. So in English Lit, the interesting thing to tie in with werewolves is the history of fairy tales and the like Little Red Riding Hood and the wolf, and why wolves are the looming menace in fairy tales and computer science. and what they mean, what the symbology is, or what they symbolize in literature, why wolves are used in fairy tales and in other literature. That'd be an interesting one. And then I think the last subject area I was going to talk about was environmental studies. I think Sydney, you got at that a little bit earlier, what environments they live in, but also climate change, what's that is doing to wolves. Maybe you might study if coyotes and wolves are crossbreeding, what climate factors are causing coyotes to move north, or is it climate, or is it just suburban sprawl pushing them north? So yeah, so something that librarians can help you with is when you get your course outlines and your your essay topics or your essay suggestions from profs, please write an essay on something to do with World War II. If you come up with some ideas, library staff can help you kind of think through that might be easy to research, that might not be so easy to research. Have you thought about doing it this way? So with research topics, we can help you out kind of formulating what your question might be, what your essay topic might be. Okay, so I'm going to toggle back to sharing my screen, which means I lose the chat for a few seconds, but let's see how this goes. Okay, so I was going to give you a little tour of the library website, and then I thought we'd have a lot more people in more breakout rooms. I think I'll still put you into maybe 2 breakout rooms, and then I'm going to get you guys to do some hands-on work with the library website. So I want to mention kind of 2 things, and this is about the library. So one of our jobs is to buy stuff for you to, like books, to look through. Now today it's online books mostly. We're like many schools, we're trending towards ebooks as opposed to physical books, and that actually always made sense for Lakehead because Thunder Bay and Aurelia are so far apart. If I buy a physical book for the Aurelia campus, even though Thunder Bay students can ask for it to be sent up north, it's still a little bit awkward, and it's easier if everyone, especially learning from home, if everyone has an e-copy they can just navigate to. So one job of a library is to collect resources and make them searchable. So books and ebooks, we have a lot of movie documentary collections, we have newspaper collections, and we obviously have a boatload of academic journals and journal databases. So one of our jobs is to collect all these resources and make sure that you can search them. Another one of our jobs is to teach you how to do research. So especially first year, you don't really know how to navigate through the library website and use different tools for different purposes. We go into classes a lot. Professors will ask us to come in and show students how to do research in this topic or that topic, or sometimes for a specific assignment, they'll ask us to come in and show how to do research for a specific assignment. So you might see us come to your classes. We are joining some classes by Zoom this year, but also, and again, I want you to feel comfortable reaching out to ask us questions and to ask for help this year. So let me go to the web and get the library site here. Okay, so hopefully you're seeing my web screen now, the library website. You can get to the library website just by Googling Lakehead Library and you'll get here. So I'm just going to spend really only about 5 minutes showing you a few tools on the website, and then we're going to try to do these breakout rooms to find some stuff. So you can Google Lakehead Library to get here. From the programs that you folks are mostly in, I think you're okay using this site. If you ever wanted to, you can go to locations. And this is important for education students to navigate to the education library websites. But for us, we'll just hang out here. Excuse me. Okay, so as far as getting help goes, this is maybe the #1 thing I need you folks to know from this session. You can get help in a few ways. One is the top right, the Help Contact Us button. So if you click that, there's a few ways here to reach out for help. Some email addresses to use. Now this one is important, and lots of people use it. This is online, usually immediate chat chat reference with a librarian. Sorry, so not necessarily a Lakehead librarian, although we do work this service. This is a shared service that all the Ontario schools use. So you might click on there and you might end up talking to a Guelph librarian, but it's all okay because we've all been trained on each other's websites anyway. So if you click that, you'll then be having live chat with the librarian, and you can say things like, I'm supposed to find this article for my class, I can't find that article, and the librarian can help you out. So that's what Ask is. And then there's some other ways to reach out here as well. So that's this Help Contact Us button in the top right. Another way to get help is if you scroll down to the middle, this Liaison Librarians link is definitely one to remember and know about. So if you click this, this gives you a list of all the subject areas at Lakehead and which librarian is responsible for that subject area. So then you could contact the right librarian, and he or she can make an appointment with you to do a one-to-one session with you to give you some research help. So we definitely do that, and feel free to do that as well. So that was the Liaison Librarians link right here to reach out and make an appointment for one-to-one help with the librarian. And I was hoping it was going to pop up, but it hasn't yet. Sometimes when you're on the library website, that Ask chat service I just mentioned, there'll actually be a pop-up, usually in the bottom right, with kind of a red header saying more or less, hey, you've been lurking on the library website for a little while, do you need help? And you can click on that to go straight to the Ask service. Actually, it may not have popped up yet because it may not start until 10 o'clock actually. Okay, anyway, the last thing I want to mention as far as help goes are the subject guides. So if you go down here to the left, so this is a library homepage, just scrolling down a bit further to the subject guides area. So what these are, we've put together research guides for all the topic areas at Lakehead. So I think somebody was in Comp Sci. So if you go to the computer science research page, it'll give you if you look at the tabs on the left, it'll give you some resources you probably should know about. And for the Find Journal Articles tab, this is telling you for computer science or whatever other subject area you click on, what the best article databases are that we have for that subject area. So that's what all these research guides are. Okay, so those are some ways to get help, either actually physically talking to somebody or using the subject guides. And I still am having problems seeing the chat when I'm in share mode. So if you have questions, I'll stop sharing in a second, then I'll glance back and look at any questions you might have in the chat. Okay, I want to show you a couple things still. So as far as resources, special resources and places to look for different things, I want to point out a couple things there. Okay, streaming media, if you're looking for a film or a documentary, you can go to streaming media on the kind of middle left. And Criterion, this one here, so there's a few different streaming packages that we have. Criterion is actually first run fairly recent movies actually. I'm home, so I've got to sign in with my Lakehead stuff. And let's click on something random here. So anyway, these are films that usually you can see from home. Sometimes you click on these and there'll be a little fine print note about can only view from on campus, but that's less common now. So that's the Criterion collection. And let me go back to, oops. So that's Criterion. Curio is good. Canopy is good. The National Film Board of Canada is down here. So there's a few different movie and documentary databases that we have, and those are under streaming media. So library homepage streaming media. A Okay, the A to Z databases link. If you go here, this helps you navigate to two things I want to mention to you so that you know they exist. You go to A to Z databases. So if you don't do any selecting yet, what you're really just looking at first is a long alphabetical list of the 243 article or GovDoc or movie databases that we have access to. So we have access to all these databases. Right now, we're just looking at an alphabetical list. But you can sort all these databases. And two I want to point out to you are newspapers. So if you go to all database types in the middle, you can choose to see only the newspaper collections. And the main one for us here in Canada is the Canadian major dailies, which is the Toronto Star, the Vancouver Sun, the Globe, and all those places. If you're in, if you're looking for US stuff, Nexus Uni is the best one for US newspaper holdings. Okay, so that long list of alphabetical databases, click this for newspapers. The other one I just want to mention is dictionaries and encyclopedias. If you go here, these are Credo, mainly the Credo, Gale, Oxford, and the Sage down here. These are big publishers that have a wide variety of different encyclopedia sets on different topics. And I'll just show you Credo maybe quickly here. Anyway, you type in a random word, like a random topic of yours, and you'll get hits from across different, oh, that's great. Okay, I'm not gonna bother that then. But anyway, these are, basically think of them as being academic versions of Wikipedia. So if you need a good overview of social welfare or some topic, you can go to one of these encyclopedias and hopefully find a good article on your topic, and you're reading more or less an academic writing a long encyclopedia entry for you, kind of like Wikipedia, but with a bit more clout because it comes from an academic source. Okay, and the last thing I want to mention before I try to do the breakout rooms. Okay, so our big search system at Lakehead, and actually as of last winter, almost all the Ontario universities are using the same search system. It's called Omni. This search on our homepage is the Omni search. I don't usually use the basic search right here. I usually go to advanced over here. And let's do something random like Napoleon and Russia, and add a new line and I don't know, strategy or something. So Napoleon attacked Russia and it didn't go well, and he had to march. You guys ever read history? This is a really interesting, like Napoleon marched his entire army from France across Europe to Russia. The Russians basically said, go crazy, and backed off and let him kind of have Moscow in the wintertime for a while. The French starved and froze to death, and then they marched all the way back home to France again. So it wasn't Napoleon's finest hour. So you type in some keywords, you hit search. So this is our Omni search. So Omni searches everything. It's all those 243 databases and our book catalogs and our movie holdings. Omni is the place to go to search for anything. If you only wanted books, you can do a couple things. You could, before you even hit search, up here, you could say only show me books, because right now I'm looking for some books. Or if you've just hit search like I did, you can scroll down and do some of the options down here. You could say, my prof said I have to find peer-reviewed journal articles. You could click this and Omni will get rid of everything that isn't from a peer-reviewed journal. Under resource types, I actually want books. I'm going to go to show more. And there's books and ebooks. So if I click on this, I can see all the books and ebooks that we have on this topic. And I should probably show you, so this is an ebook, that's an ebook. Where's a print one? These are all ebooks. So if you scroll down, you only get down to 10, then you have to hit load more results. Well, like I said, we're buying more and more ebooks these days. That's weird. Okay, I'm gonna have to find another. I'm gonna do a different search. Bear with me 1 second. Actually, let's just do that. That should work actually. Okay, Napoleon in Russia, and I want books only. Okay, Thunder Bay Ed Library. So this is actually a kid's book. Actually, let's do this one: Brief History of Napoleon in Russia. So you click on a book that you want. So if you're able to do curbside pickup, we're doing curbside pickup this year. If you can get into Thunder Bay or Aurelia. So this book, Chancellor Patterson, is the Thunder Bay Library, the main Thunder Bay Library. The one in Aurelia is called Harvey Legacy. If you want this book to be set aside for you to come do a curbside pickup, you go to this sign in area here, and you click sign in, and it's just your Lakehead credentials. So once you sign into Omni, you can then make requests. One type of request is to have the physical book transferred somewhere. So you can say, I need it to be set aside at the Thunder Bay Library, the main Thunder Bay Library, at the Aurelia Harvey Legacy. This is Aurelia here. Or you can do pickups at the Thunder Bay Ed Library as well. So you can do pickups, and you would request that. The other thing that we can do within copyright allowances is scan part of the book for you. And this we would email to you as a PDF. So you can choose this and fill out this information. So this would be if you found a book and you knew that only chapter 3 was really of interest to you, we could probably scan chapter 3 as long as it wasn't huge and beyond the copyright allowance that we're allowed to do. So that's requesting either a physical copy or a scanned copy of something. So let me go back here for a second. So sorry, that was Omni. That's the Omni search going in this way. And fairly often, I think what you would do in first year is you would type in your keywords and then use, when your hits come up, use those filters on the left side to filter your results. Okay, so in a couple of seconds, there's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of you. So I might put you in groups of 2 in 3 different rooms in a second. Well, one question is, did that last sharing of my screen work? Did you guys see me navigate the library website there for 5-10 minutes? Okay, thanks, Scott. Any questions for me? Oh, thanks, Drew. Any questions for me at all? And if you want me to show you anything more with the website, that's fine. I'm totally happy to do that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I've got kind of little treasure hunts for you folks to do in groups of 2, I guess. So I'm gonna do breakout rooms, and I'm gonna send you a link to a Google Doc to look at, and I'm gonna get you to follow the steps. They're pretty brief on the Google Doc to search through the website and find something. And so when you're in your groups of 2, and when I assign the rooms, it's just going to be a random assortment of who goes where. I was thinking one person would be the navigator. So one person would share their screen with the other person and navigate the site. But the other person would keep their eyes on the Google Doc and read out the instructions for the navigator to follow, to click his way or her way through the screen, through the website. So I hope that sounds okay. So I'll assign breakouts. Actually, let me go to my slides quickly to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. So that stuff, okay. So breakout rooms, 1 task each, a couple questions to answer. The Google Doc will have the instructions. Oh yeah, so when we come back together, my plan is for each group to demonstrate for the other groups how they found the thing that they were asked to find. A navigator, someone to read out the steps, and this really shouldn't take long, but it might take a little bit longer to find the answer to the questions that are on your pages. So I'm thinking 7 minutes should do this, do fine for this. Yeah, okay. So let me stop share here. Okay, so I'm going to assign to 3 rooms. When you get in there, it's going to take me a second to send you the links to the Google Docs in each of the 3 breakout rooms. So if you want to maybe talk amongst yourselves in those little rooms, but who's going to navigate and who's going to be the reader of the instructions as you go along. So I will make the breakout rooms and get rid of this, and I'll visit you in the breakout rooms in a couple seconds.